Okay, Shalom, Shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah. Kohulayim La Yahweh Bahashim Yabushai, Bahashim Rahakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the water toward the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yabushai to the best of their ability. This is Yah Hanan the Waf, just coming at you with another quick lesson. Praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And yeah, these spirits of vengeance are out here cold-witted, man. It says bride fatally shot by groom during wedding reception following a heated argument. So you got to know that a person is violent before you get into the get to the point of getting to a damn altar, which is off as hell anyway. Because that's not a biblical marriage. Even though I'm thinking this is Northern Kingdom. They pretty much, run with the white Jesus form of marriage, which is idolatry. White Jesus is idolatry because the Lord is not a so-called white man. And his name is not Jesus, it's Yahweh Shai. And the true name of the Father is Yahweh. But a lot of our people, they following behind Esau's way of living because also, let's just read in some of the story. Okay, so it was on Saturday, May 9th. Yes, I don't know. Might not be, they could be whatever, but it sounded like Northern Kingdom names. But she was 34, right? She was allegedly shot by her husband after a violent fight broke out between the two of them on their wedding night. So I think this happened in Brazil. That's why I'm thinking this might be Northern Kingdom. So this guy's 55 years old. She was 34. So, 20-year hookup, which is not bad. You know what I'm saying? Biblically, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so they got into a heated argument. The argument quickly turned physical as tensions continued to rise. Now, this guy, he was a municipal guard. So he was like a police officer, so to speak. As tensions continued to rise, he allegedly used his service weapon to shoot his wife before fleeing. While the initial shots were not fatal, he allegedly returned to the scene later and fired at her once again. So, these are, last days types of actions, man. Last days movement. So let's get Matthew chapter 24, verse 12. Because this is one of the things that Yahweh spoke of that will be happening in the end days. Because the disciples asked him, what would it be like before his coming and the end of this age, this kingdom that we're in. Matthew 24 and 12, it says, in the Amplified, it says, because lawlessness is increased, the love of most people will grow cold. Right? Because, that she's the weaker vessel. You trying to tell me he couldn't have, just held her or whatever the case may be, or just got in his fucking vehicle. He left anyway. Could have got into his vehicle and left. Came back later. But, if this happened on the night of the wedding, they were scrapping and doing a bunch of bullshit, before that and didn't need to even be getting married, man. But let's go back off into it because I found this interesting too. That she was in a previous relationship and she had three kids in the previous relationship, which if that man was the first person to have sex with her, she's already married basically. She's pretty much secondhand goods or thirds or fourths or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And the apostles go into this all the time. And why would you get into a relationship with a woman that's got 3 children with another man? They're like, it's just, Anyway. So it says, this nigga returned to the scene and shot her again and killed her. Although the emergency mobile care service rushed to the scene, says she's a mom to 3 children from a previous relationship, was tragically pronounced dead during her own wedding reception. Witnesses reported that family members who were at the scene managed to get all the children safely out of the residence where the reception took place before the horrifying incident. Shortly after the bride's death, the suspect allegedly contacted municipal guard himself to report the crime, after which he was detained on suspicion of femicide and taken to the Second Women's Defense Department to be placed in pretrial detention. While investigating the scene of the crime, authorities later seized casings, projectiles, ammunition, all that, okay. Okay, the municipal guard, yeah, deeply regrets the incident. Okay, the cooperation. Okay, so they ain't going off into too much more of it, but it's these spirits of vengeance. Let me get that real quick. Just a quick little hit, man. These people, man, wilding out. Like, where's the love, bro? You know what I'm saying? Did you really love her? Because if she was, getting on your damn nerves to that point, you shouldn't have never, never. But Jake let their emotions override them, and that's something that the Apostle Gabar was going into yesterday. Don't put all your eggs in that basket, man, with any of these chicks, especially not these days, because it's not what it used to be. Marriage is not what it used to be, man. Now, if her husband, the original guy, had passed away, then that marriage would be legal, But other than that, she's committing adultery, and he's committing adultery with her. You know what I'm saying? Because that's another man's wife. Ecclesiasticus 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So the Lord created spirits of vengeance. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. So these spirits are not going to be like, well, Lord, they just got married. He's going to help take care of those 3 kids. They're perfect together, whatever. It doesn't work that way, And a lot of the times, these women, they just won't be quiet. But again, if your woman is running off at the mouth and she's aggravating you to that point, man, it's best you just go for a walk. Best you get into your ride, man, and go and chill with your homeboy or some shit before, you get to a point of. Matter of fact, I seen another, because these people, these relationships, America is just, well, not just America, it's fucked up throughout the entire galaxy, because Esau is running shit, and these other nations have taken on the mindset of Esau. Esau's way of thinking is death, So that's pretty much what's going on in the world. I did see another article. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so this one right here. Now, I remember this one. I think I might have done a lesson on it. But they just sentenced this guy. It says, man hunted his ex-girlfriend to her workplace. Because this was not too far from where I live. Then his final act of violence in front of their daughter ended in prison sentence. It says, we have seen toxic relationships and abuse take a tragic turn before, following the horrific news of a woman who killed her husband after the divorce. Let me see. Following the horrific news of a woman who killed her husband after the divorce, another tragedy has taken place in Michigan. So it's women killing, men, and men killing women. So it's just all over the place. A man chased his ex-girlfriend to her workplace, then claimed her life right in front of their innocent 10-year-old daughter, which we know there's no one that's innocent. That's Job 4 and 7. According to People, 46-year-old Gregory, whatever his name is, De Niro Davis, was sentenced to a life in prison when he was found guilty of killing his ex-girlfriend. He has been found guilty of first-degree murder in connection with the killing of a 40-year-old Annie Nemu. The incident took place in the parking lot of a car dealership. Yep, not too far away from the crib there. Yes, that city not too far away. According to the press release, it was declared that Davis followed her to work and shot her in the car to keep her trapped. He shot her when she was getting out of the car, and shot her again when she ran to get help. Prosecutors stated the victim exited her vehicle to get help, and Davis shot her as she was running away, and then shot her again at close range with a 12-gauge semi-automatic shotgun. Boy, wasn't playing, boy. Shotguns mangle you at that close distance. Shouldn't just knock shit off of you. Oakland County prosecutor. Okay, this is horrific. Yeah, every month an average of 70 women are shot and killed by an intimate partner in this country. Yeah, the event occurred because this is a wicked place. This is Babylon. He was found guilty of additional crimes. That's okay. So this is the guy right here looking stupid as hell. So you about to you about to go to prison for life when all you had to do is just shit, fucking step away. And people don't be thinking. There's scripture that talks about anger. Shit piss you off. And still you gotta rock out, man. I ain't gonna front. I've had a week of some aggravations, but you know what I'm saying? Spirit kick in. Like, hey, keep going. Let me see. I think this one is in Ecclesiastes. I might be wrong. But he talks about anger. I think I always spell that word wrong. Ecclesiastes 7:9. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools. You don't get no more foolish than that kind of shit from both of these guys. Those are fools. You that hasty? You didn't set yourself. And that's the beauty of the Lord, man. That's the beauty of the Holy Spirit. That's the beauty of knowing His truth. You can pull back, rely on the scriptures. The scriptures talks about roughly paraphrasing it. Lay down. Without. I'm trying to think how it was worded exactly. Pretty much, don't lay down angry. Don't handle. Speak with whoever you need to speak with. Just don't lay down with anger on your mind and be thinking and contemplating shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta end that shit before you lay down. You should be set before you lay down, because people be tossing and turning, they mind be festering, things be and then you get up and that shit it just seems to be more intense. I've noticed that before I came in this truth. This motherfucker, I can't wait to see. You know what I'm saying? So you want to handle that beforehand. Now, there's another one. I think that's Proverbs 16:32. Because these are women, man. Women are like children, man. You got to really just be like, man, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm going to go. If I got to get away for the week, shit, you better off getting away for the week, a damn month, hell, even a fucking year, than to give up your whole life to prison, you know what I'm saying, for fucking a chick up, man. I'm not sure what the deal was with the ex thing, you know what I'm saying. She probably, how, men be jealous. She probably was dealing with some other guy. I'm not sure if the 10-year-old was his. Could have been, maybe not. Proverbs 16:32, it says, he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh the city. See? So, yeah, you have to be, circumspect, man. Let me see. I think it's some, going to the cross references. I know it's some more on that. Proverbs 14:29, he that is slow to anger is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalted folly. Yeah, man. You're going to do some stupid shit. Proverbs 15:18, a wrathful man stirreth up strife, but he that is slow to anger appeases strife. Proverbs 19:11, the discretion of a man deferreth his anger. See? And it is his glory to pass over a transgression. Yeah, man. That's a beautiful one right there. Matter of fact, let's go into this one. Let's get that word discretion. Matter of fact, let's read it in the Amplified. Good sense and discretion make a man slow to anger, and it is his honor and glory to overlook transgressions or an offense without seeking revenge and harboring resent. See? So let's get this word real quick. Discretion. It's sakal, sakal, H7972. Prudence, insight, understanding. See? Intelligence, discretion, knowledge, policy, prudence, sense, understanding, wisdom, wise. Because you think like, damn, you motherfucker ain't, hey, well, let me calm my ass down, man, because I'm ready to, do whatever. And if I do this, it's gonna result in fucking my life up. Because he could have just let her. Ain't no woman out here worth going to prison for life for. That shit is just retarded. And again, I'm not sure if that was his child, you know what I'm saying? And even if it was, you living in the Americas, we're in captivity, man. And these women, they're above you. They have more rights than you, man, in this place. Shit, Eve, she's on the tip of Esau. Let's put in this one right here, where the woman would compass a man. No, they on top, man. You gotta just let them have it. And then eventually, you know what I'm saying? Hey, they the ones that be fucked in the end, Jeremiah 31:22, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For Yahweh hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. Yeah. See? So women are on top right now, but they're falling right along with Esau because Esau's ass is falling. So, but again, you got to use some sense, man. You don't let them get to that point, man. You should always be thinking to yourself like any day she can go. That's the mind. That's the mindset you should have. We ain't trying to, treat women bad or anything like that. It's just that you have to understand what kind of kingdom we're in. They have the upper hand. They can go when they want to go. They can leave when they want to leave. They can come back when they want to come back. They can leave at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock. They can go for a week. They can come back in a month. And you all, where the fuck you been, bitch? And this, and this. And you put hands on her, you going to jail. It's that simple. You going to jail. She can do what she want to do in this kingdom. But I'm trying to think. It was another one too. This guy, he was trying to choke a bitch out. I don't know where that other one is at, but you get the point, man. I didn't want to keep it long. Yeah, I'm not seeing that particular one. It might have been. Let me see. Okay, here's another one right here. Man with custody vendetta against ex-wife calmly walked in the grocery store where she worked and shot her dead, along with new husband. See that? See? These are things that's happening in the planet, man, because, men, let me get that one. I think it's in Proverbs chapter 6, because women are really the property of men. When they either belong to their father marries her off to some guy, now she belongs to him. It's that simple, but not in Esau's kingdom, and it really causes a lot of chaos and bullshit because it's out of order. So you get a lot of disorder when you don't have order. There's no other way. But that jealousy, man, Proverbs 6, and let me start at verse 32. Let's see how it reads in the Amplified. Well, let me see. Should I start up? Verse 29. It says, so is one who goes into his neighbor's wife. Whoever touches her will not be found innocent or go unpunished. Right? Because a woman done broke up with a dude. Now all of a sudden she's available. She's back on the block. And that doesn't mean shit to the Lord. You're still the husband. You're still the wife of that man. Again, whoever hit first, whichever man penetrate a woman when she's a virgin, that's her husband for life. And the only way that you can deal with another man is if that man dies. Other than that, you're committing adultery. And who's ever dealing with you is committing adultery. That's in the New Testament. Right? So it says, verse 29 again, so is the one who goes into his neighbor's wife. Whoever touches her will not be found innocent or go unpunished. And jumping down, verse 32, but whoever commits adultery with a woman lacks common sense and sound judgment and understanding of moral principles. He who would destroy his soul does it. Yeah, you destroying yourself when you're dealing with another woman. You don't know how that's going to turn out. Then you dealing with a bitch that's got kids by now. It's just disgusting, man. It's really just this place is upside down. It says, wounds and a disgrace he will find, and his reproach, blame, will not be blotted out. For jealousy enrages the wrong husband, right? So it's saying that the husband is wronged. For jealousy enrages the wronged husband. He will not spare the guilty one on the day of vengeance. He will not accept any ransom offered to buy him off from demanding full punishment, nor will he be satisfied though you offer him many gifts and bribes, man. He like, nah, I want blood. Because again, it's just the way that the Lord set it up. You women are the property of either your father, he marries you off, then you become the property of your husband. But that's not so in America. But still, that's how we know that the law, statutes, and commandments still apply. Because just because you changing shit or you doing some bullshit, that don't mean that the law, statutes, and commandments are done away with. They still apply. And we can clearly see it with these kinds of stories. It's simple. Let's go back. It says he calmly walked in. A Nevada man calmly walked into a Las Vegas grocery store where his ex-wife worked, shot her and her new husband dead after she made Facebook posts about the hate and vendetta he had against her following a custody dispute, cops and witnesses say. See, all that on social media shit. See, all that shit will get you fucked up. He was completely calm, no expression, no nothing. And that's why we say pray without ceasing, man, and to walk circumspectly. Because there's people out here, you think like you probably just had, he probably walked in there, spoke to like 10 people. Hey, how you doing today? Oh, man, I like your shoes. Oh, man, yeah, I bought them at, just a regular conversation, you know what I'm saying? In the meanwhile, death, murder, kill is on his mind, man. You just don't know. But that's a spirit of vengeance. It's not always going to come with a mean face, man. Says he was completely calm, and this, I think this is Northern Kingdom too. No expression, nothing. The shopper told the Las Vegas Review about Alejandro Estrada, 43, who was accused of shooting his former spouse, Amanda Frias Rosas. Yeah, this sounded like Northern Kingdom, and her new husband, Victor Frias Rosas, at a Smith's grocery store in Silverado Ranch on Tuesday. There was a volley of shots, like 8 shots, the shopper Paul Milton recounted. All of a sudden, you just heard bang, bang, bang. Milton said Estrada was calmly walking through the Smiths before and after the shooting until being tackled by a group of bystanders outside. Witnesses told Lo, I wouldn't have tackled that motherfucker. I'd have called the police. Matter of fact, there's a scripture that talks about because your ass could have got fucked up. See? Hey, let the police come, man. What, you about to tackle a nigga with a gun? No, I don't mind my business on that. Let's get the scripture on that. It's one I always laughed at the scripture too. There's a few scriptures that that that's just in here that's just so funny, man, but it's true. Let me see. Yep, right here, Proverbs 26 and 17. He that passes by and meddleth with strife belonging not to him is like one that taketh a dog by the ears. That's as real as it get. It's like you running up grabbing a stray pit bull by his ears. You know what I'm saying? He gonna lunge in your face, man. He gonna take your damn face off. That's crazy, bro. But hey, there's people out here that's like that, man. And you don't even know what happened, what was done. You're jumping in the middle of punishment, basically. You're jumping in the middle of judgment. Hey, I wouldn't, fuck these women, man. Hey, that's your man. Hey, I'm trying to get the fuck away. The police will be here. They'll trust me. We don't need to tackle this nigga. Fuck that. Okay, but it says witnesses told the media he was carrying a handgun and a rifle in his backpack. Police confirmed during the press conference. He has several different weapons on him. So who knows? They might have, the Lord got who he wanted to get. Authorities were called after the shooting and arrived at the scene to find at least 3 individuals subduing the suspect after allegedly taking a gun away from him. The individual showed tremendous courage. Now that's stupidity. That's tremendous stupidity. The official told reporters that Estrada and Amanda had some custody issues that they had been dealing with lately, which boiled over as they were getting ready to celebrate their 12-year-old son's birthday. So the son is it's all fucked up for the son now. Who does he go stay with the grandparents or something like that. But that, everybody's life has changed. It says, what they had in the shopping cart when they got killed? A co-worker at the Smiths told the local news about her and this guy. They had a cake that said happy birthday. Okay. On Facebook, Amanda Frias Rosas posted about working at the Smiths with Victor Frias. See that with that social media shit. You're giving up your location. You're giving up too much information. You know what I'm saying? It says the hate you have for your ex should never be more than the love you have for your child, the mom said in January 2025. You're just hurting your child by hurting your ex. Good parents shouldn't have to beg or fight for a place in their child's life. In September 2025, she shared a quote. Anyone can have a child and call themselves a parent. A real parent is someone who puts that child above their own selfish needs and wants. See all that damn typing. Your ass is out of here in the spirit world along with the next. And who knows? She could, how they got together. She could have been, either way. She's still committing adultery if she only dealt with this guy to begin with. She accompanied the message with a Facebook status post saying, and doesn't use them as pawns that hurt them to fulfill your vendetta. Marriage records show that they tied that. Okay, so they just really kind of got married in February 2025 after she and Estrada, they split up in 2023. The Clark County District Attorney's Office filed a notice and finding of financial responsibilities on March 6th that stated that Estrada, who had been ordered to pay $342 in child support, owed more than $2,800 in November 2025. Well, if she married, why he got to pay child support? She with a new man. He can deal. Just when I see my child, they come to stay with me, everything's gonna be perfectly provided. I got food, I got clothes, I got shoes, I got whatever they need. You know what I'm saying? Here she goes. She gets to go and ride another dick. And he got to pay this bitch monthly until the child turns, 18? Crazy fucking work, bro. This place is crazy. And he's doing, they say when you don't have nothing to lose, you lose it. They had joint legal custody. So if they got joint legal custody, why is he giving her, you know what I'm saying? Especially if if you got a new husband, okay, he should be taking responsibility. You're the new guy. You took my place. What the fuck, nigga? Okay, it says this is somebody who's one of the nicest people I've ever met. Yeah, right. He and his wife. Yeah, sure. I mean, they're so down to earth. No, well, they in the heavenly realms now. They ain't on this planet no more. They helped everybody. I've always seen a smile on their face. Estrada has been charged for 2 counts of open murder. Yeah, all that good stuff. Yep, and it is what it is. And I ain't going into no comment boards because, these people, they won't get it because they don't have no righteousness about them. These, these Americans, these American thinkers. And I'm willing to bet you all these people will tell you they Christians. That nigga probably went in there with a rosary cross. He probably rubbed on his white Jesus, Mother Mary figurine in his car before he jumped out. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Anyway, but her ass is out of here. And this other guy, he might have thought that what he was probably doing was just innocent. She may not have even cheated on him to get with this guy. From what the story is saying, they met like 2 years later. But at the same time, too, that's only fucking 24 months. Shit still be hot. That's no time. You know what I'm saying? For a person to still have feelings, especially when you got a child with them. And you got to go back and forth and deal with the bullshit. Then you get married and a nigga still got to give you child support. This place is, I'm telling you, man. So, men, hey, be careful. Watch who you mingle with. And it's just not, especially on paper anyway, man. And, having children in these days and times, this shit is not worth it. It's not where it's at these days, man. It's not worth it. You're not going to get any benefits out of it. It only benefits the woman. And Esau, once he hits your ass over the head for his cut of that child support, that's it. So, I'm going to end out there, man. I'm at the plantation. Got to make a little quick move. But, hey, man, it's not worth it, man. Be careful with these chicks, these women, Just be circumspect, you know what I'm saying, brothers, and you women as well, that's into this truth. Hey, man, times are getting vicious, man. Them spirits of vengeance are really on the move right now. People are fucking losing it. They don't care. This guy walked calmly in there and done his thing. Smile on his face. Crazy work. Anyway, with that, pray that the lesson was edifying. Call me Charlotte in the bubble ball.